More money, you got less problems. At least minor ones, all your basics accounted for. Team elite I run with, I'm guaranteed to be Final Four. Less money, you got more problems. More money, you got less problems. At least.
All right. Good evening back, bringing Albany communities knowledge. Tonight, I have Nigel Jennings with me, my brother, my friend. I call him Nigerian Nye. Me and this guy have so many stories together that I'm not sure where tonight's interview is going to go. So first and foremost, Albany community, welcome Nigel to back. Nigel, thank you for agreeing to be on with us tonight. And I couldn't wait to tell your story. What's up, bro?
What's going on, big bro? I appreciate you having me on.
Okay. Hey, listen, man, it was just like, one, I know your story, and I think that you are a tremendous success story. And I couldn't wait to tell your story and share with the Albany community, because to see where you were, the transition, the grind to get to where you are and where you're going, it's an honor to know you, bro. So I look forward to diving into tonight's conversation with you.
Absolutely, man. I feel the same way.
Okay. Well, listen, man, I got my first unofficial question for you. Actually, before I start, I do got to give a shout out to my man Just down in Fresh and Fly Clothing. Thank you as always for the New York Tough gear. I had to bring out that fitted cap to let you know that we all New York during this interview.
Right.
So shout out to my man Just for that. Okay. Well, listen, man, my first unofficial question for you now is, we've been quarantining now since March. So that's got to be 9-10 months by now. And, how have you maintained through the quarantine? How has it affected you or your family?
Quarantine has been really difficult because I'm down in Florida and most of my family is in New York. I got a lot of family out of the country. So usually I spend a lot of time down in Florida by myself anyway, because a lot of my family ain't down here. But, not being able to move around, especially not being able to fly, because I'm always trying to fly and catch up with family. And, airlines were shut down at the point where you couldn't fly. So that really affected me. You couldn't really go out. You couldn't really hang out with friends. So my social life was just working home. So that definitely, I'm sure like the rest of the country, everybody was impacted. But it really put a halt to how much I was doing, working out, and just, that constant keeping your mind busy aspect. Just working home was a big altercation for me, because I like to be out and about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. I know I would sit there and check in with you sometimes and look at those numbers. I'm like, yo, bro, those numbers in Florida is crazy. So
yeah, Florida crazy. Yeah, Florida crazy, man. So, people down here, for one, I think Florida just where I'm at. Some folks don't really take it as serious as other places, I feel. And that's just because, the rhetoric, this is a big, where I'm at is a big Trump base. And you get a lot of folks, they might wear masks, some might not wear masks. And I work in the hospitality industry, so you get a lot of that, but it's obviously it's crazy. Everyone take it their own way. Some take it like it's real, some take it as not real. If they don't feel like they've been affected or have people personally affected, they feel like maybe it's just like a hoax. But it's another story.
Okay, yeah. By now we all got to know that ain't no hoax to it. Right now it's just like we see those numbers just jump up across the country. So long story short, bro, one, I'm happy that you have survived. You are surviving through this pandemic, and I'm thankful that it didn't devastate you and your family as much as it has. I know you got affected by it directly.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm glad you are, as my T-shirt would say, New York tough.
Right.
And you've been able to withstand it.
I appreciate that, man. It's a crazy year for everybody. It's been a major adjustment. Really, I hear everyone saying this was the time for you to really think about how you want to go ahead and focus on how you want to execute with next year. This I felt like quarantine was the best time to figure out what's important and what's not important.
Mm-hmm. Real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk, man. I tell everybody, I said, listen, my pastor said the best. It was like, if you come out of this the same way you went in it, you've been doing it all wrong. So
yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, man, I know I got a funny feeling we might be here for a while, so I don't want to hold you up. I want to make sure I get to these questions so that I can figure out how to tell your story through this back interview. So my first official question for you for tonight is, Nigel, what are you doing now? What kind of work do you do? What kind of passion projects are you working on? Here's your opportunity to tell the Albany community about you.
Okay, so let's first I'll give you a little background where I originally started at. So I kind of found myself in the hospitality field just when I was in Albany. My first job working in the hotels was when I was going to University at Albany, and I was actually working part-time at the Crown Plaza. They changed over to the Hilton right over on State Street. But downtown Albany, if you're not familiar. So I kind of stumbled upon that, and then after I graduated from University at Albany, I got my degree in business administration, minor in Africana studies, and it just everything was working out for me in the hospitality field. So I worked my way up. Now I'm currently working as guest experience manager at the Holiday Inn, which I'm continuing working myself up to leadership roles, higher leadership roles, which has been a great learning experience for me. Great asset to my friends and family. I'll be able to travel, get discounts for rooms and rate, which I hate when they call me all the time asking me for discounts, which it's a love-hate situation. But that's what I'm currently doing now, and just keeping my mind going, working out, always trying to keep the fire alive with going to the next level. What's the next best thing you can do to improve on yourself? Okay. Right.
Yeah, man. I know I mentioned it to you off camera earlier today, and I was just like, yo, I still been fascinated with that story, bro. It's just like, yo, you know what? Nah, you know what? I'm gonna counter. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, yo, so countering in the aspect of leveling up for your job, I'm so proud of you, bro, because one, to be in the leadership role where you are from where you started, I know you got the tools and the experience, and then you never cease to amaze me. So, like I said, man, I look forward to telling your story through tonight's interview. So.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And just just another thing to go ahead and say off that is like, the relationship that we have has always been, a lot of the key traits that, you see in me is a lot of things I took from you too, because when I was young, I was watching how you move, and I said, I like that, how big bro move. I'm going to do that. I'm going to move like that. So, it comes from each one, teach one.
Okay. Yeah, we probably should have did a better job of the introduction. I first met Nigel while Nigel was still in high school. One of the guys who used to run Motto with me, Malcolm Thorpe, had brought him to Motto. And it was too funny because Nigel used to do this split thing. He used to split time between the Motto program and another youth program there in Albany. But when I met him, it was just like, yo, we had so many different similarities. And, our life and our path has intertwined in so many different ways since then. So we probably should have did a better job of understanding that connection, but it doesn't really matter, So Nigel, one of the first graduates or second graduating class for Model as well, and to see him go on and do big and great things out here in this world, man, you couldn't ask for it any better. And we got similar paths, even when it comes to experiences with school. So you know what I mean. So yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah, man. Well, let me see. This is my favorite question that I interview everybody with, Nye, because one, it allows me to understand you in a more introspective way than maybe I haven't gathered over the years. But what's your favorite place to visit in Albany, and why?
Man, every time I'm in Albany is a first thing I'm gonna do if I come back to the city, I'm going right back to Kenneth, man. That's one of my favorite spots to go, man. That's the spot we always used to go to when we was on the boulevard. You gonna stop at Kenneth. You gonna get your fish fry. You gonna get your fries with that and all that. And that's what we had. And you know that always makes me feel good when I'm back in the town. And I go there and I connect with, you know, bump into some guys I know. You always gonna bump into the guys there because that's still one of the spots, man. Even though Kenneth had passed away, but you know his legacy still lived on in there. So I always like first thing I do, we stopping at Kenneth. We just going. That's a traditional thing we got to do. We're gonna grab some food. We're gonna kick it, and we off from there.
Okay. Kenneth's.
Yeah, and that's a Jamaican restaurant. If y'all don't know, man, it's one that's my spot.
Okay. Well, let me see, man. We talking to the Albany community, so you know they know. So
okay.
whether they decide to go with Kenneth's or Roy's or Vincent's spot at the hot spot, they know.
Man, so. Kenneth is it, man. I don't know about what you're talking about. Oh my God.
Thinking of your younger self, what is something that you wish someone would have told the younger Nigel Jennings?
I felt like coming up, especially, you know, a young black male coming up in Arbor Hill, because originally when I first moved to Albany, I was born in Jamaica, but when we moved to Albany, I was about 10 years old, and my dad was always back and forth, you know, from Poughkeepsie. That's where we originally stayed at when we first came to the States. We went from Jamaica, Poughkeepsie, and then I moved up to Albany with my father's stepmother, with my stepmother, excuse me. And one thing I would say is that as a young male, because my father was always back and forth, if that we had a little bit more structure in male figures, positive male figures, I think I did a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have done, just trying to get approval. You know what I mean? Just trying to stamp myself as a male. Thought I was doing the macho thing, and you know what I'm saying? Because I know myself. I know a lot of things I wouldn't innately do if I wasn't in that environment. I felt like that environment kind of made me move a certain way that I felt, you know, I didn't have to move that way, but it was like survival. So the younger self would tell me to try to remain you at all costs, even if that means you might not fit in with everybody. You might be the needle in the haystack. You still go ahead and stick to your guns, because a lot of things I just, you know, like I said, I learned the hard way, because you know I ain't had that certain mentor until I started obviously meeting up with you and stuff like that. You just you learn from folks that they probably might not have the best way to tell you, and you're gonna you know put yourself in some situations that you might not really supposed to be in, especially as a young male.
Okay. Yeah, man. You know, that I think that's one of the things that always stood out to me. You know what I mean? Even in your story, you know what I mean? It was just like, you know, so I've told my story time in and time before. So, you know, I got kicked out of high school midway through my senior year at Albany High, and I finished up at night school as a result of carrying a knife. You know what I mean? Right. And it was just like, you know, so when that same or a similar situation happened for you, it was just like, you know, it was like my world had came 360, and it was like, okay, well, you know what? You know, I know why God positioned me to go through my experiences is also to be able to speak up and advocate for somebody else who's coming behind me or who's going through or facing a similar situation. So I'm glad your outcome was a lot healthier and more positive than mine. And, you know, so sometimes you got to go through those experiences though. But like you said earlier, it was just like, Jean always my wife always tells me, you know her, like, so Jean always tells me, she's like, yo, you know, Tyrell, you know, whenever we go to certain places, your walk is different, right? And she'd just be like, you know, we go to Albany or we go to some other type of way, you know, it's just like a different type of walk. So like when you were talking about like, you know, certain things that you had to do or you wish that you wouldn't have had to do, but it's you're a product of your environment when you're there. It was just like, subconsciously that joint gets me all the time. So I know when, you know, I gotta tighten up, or I gotta, you know, I gotta be A1. I gotta be like, I don't know who might try me, who might not. And it's crazy how those circumstances will affect how we behave or interact with other people.
Yep, that's very true. Because even though, like, at 31 years old, you know, I escaped a lot of things from those environments, like you said, because I had a lot of support, and that's a key role. Because I mean, I could change as much as I want to change, but those right individuals or the right resources that I needed for the outlet. Because the thing about it, you got to have those outlets when you need it. It ain't no good when you don't. It's like he already gone. It's too late. But you know, you know, I was seeking those things, and you caught me right when I was like, I'm trying to make a change. I ain't trying to do all this no more. I don't want to get caught up in this and that. So it's very important, because I still adapt. Like, as much as I'm, you know, moving up, that core Nigel of that how I grew up is always going to be in me, because that's just the foundation of how I grew up. But I have learned how to, they call it code switching. You got to go in there, you talk. But as soon as I get off the phone, I talk to my brother. You understand how I'm talking, and we can relate, but we can also go in those rooms and still be able to speak very eloquently and very diplomatically without causing any confusion or any fear, like, you know, misunderstanding, because it's two different worlds.
Yep. Okay. Hey, listen, man. It's part of the evolution. It's part of the growth.
Right.
Do you think education saved you or opened up doors for you?
Yeah, because no. And the reason why I say no is not that education is not a great asset. I learned a lot from education. It kept me busy. The reason why I say yes is because it got me out of my environment. What really saved me was seeking something else. I don't think it was necessarily like a higher education that saved me, but I was seeking something that was positive to overcome the alternate of what my reality was. So my reality was like, this is what it is. You already here. You might as well try this.
Yeah.
You can't go any wrong. You already, this is the worst it's gonna get right here. If it could get worse, but you already at this point right here. So I say education, what it really did was it kept me in another environment where I felt like I started over, like I was a baby again. Like, let me see how this go, how folks move in this type of world, and trying to adjust. And I was watching how, you know, different individuals from different walks of life, how they mingle with each other and how they do things, which I took that as well, and I learned, and I made it a part of what I liked about whoever I intertwine with. And I said, okay, I love those aspects. And the reason why I say no is because I felt like I was already going to be, I already made up my mind I was going to do something, regardless if I was going to do education or not, military, or I already made up my mind that I was going to do something that was going to be different from what my reality was. So that's why I answered the question that way.
Okay. No, listen, I appreciate it. You know, I think it's a little bit of both. I think on the road to navigating successfully, you know what I mean, it's going to be a little bit of everything and a little bit of luck. You know what I mean? So, you know, some of my friends will say, nah, you know, I don't believe in luck. You know what I mean? It's just destined. You know, hey, listen, I think it's a little bit of luck too.
Nah, you're right, bro.
And a couple of minutes away could have been a whole nother situation. A couple of minutes that way could have been a whole nother situation. So
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, I think education is huge, man. Education, it'll open up doors, and I've seen what it has done for you too. So, but I truly believe the latter part of what you said too, though, is like, you know, your mindset, you were determined. So you were gonna be something, whether you decided to go to the military, whether you decided to do X, Y, and Z. The most important part was realizing that, you know, enough was enough for this. Exactly. So it's just like, you know what I mean? I remember when you made that transition, you got the most improved student award at the district. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, enough was enough.
Biggest deal ever. That was my Kanye moment. Biggest deal ever. I felt like Trump. This is going to be the best year ever after that. I was like, ain't no going back. I said, I got recognized in the whole county for being outstanding youth. I said, at this point, ain't no going back. I can't. Like, this, I just got nominated. I said, bro, I got to take it up from here. I'm going to turn up. But, man, it was so many. Like, sometimes I really be thinking about my life experiences, and it'd be enough for me. I'd be like, man, I should, like, we would do a little small, like a movie, because I'd really be like, when I say from the trenches, it really came from that area where you really like trying to make a way and then trying to be positive. Because it's one thing, sometimes what happens is a lot of times with guys that's coming from these neighborhoods, and you don't even have to be a tough guy. Sometimes you got guys that you have to be tough, but you ain't necessarily gotta be a gang. You ain't no gangster, but you gotta know you people gonna respect you because they know you ain't no sucker.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, coming from those environments, and you have to try to alternate between when to let things go. That's the hardest part. Let things go, because everybody going, man, if every time you want to turn up and go to 100, every time somebody do something that you feel like they wrong you, that's another situation. You can put yourself in a situation. So you got to be emotionally intelligent every time you encounter something, because the next person might not be thinking how you thinking. They might not be rational. They emotional. They're going to react to you off the emotion. You say something, you do something, that might just cause you to lose your life, or might put you in a situation you might not want to be in. Now you thinking, man, how I got myself here. So knowing how to navigate those two, coming from that, man, that was like a major skill set. Knowing how to de-escalate situations before they go another route.
Yeah, what's crazy is, you know, I was just watching the interview with Charlemagne and Gucci, and I ended up putting part of it on my social media, right? And it's just like, you know, I love the growth in Gucci, right? Because, you know, now you can hear him enunciate his words, or you can hear how articulate he really is. And it was just like, you know, he had to learn from these experiences. He had to learn from the people that he chose to be around, the decisions that he chose to make. And, you know, just to hear him say it, it was like, you know, he decided after he had gotten to the feds, he's like, you know, enough was enough for him. Just like, you know, being in the feds changed his whole way of thinking. And it's just like, sometimes we got to see those stories of people that look just like us. And it's just like, oh, you know what? I thought this was the path. I thought this was the avenue. But when you realize that, you know, sometimes keeping it too real or keeping it too cool don't get you nowhere. You can either you be at one of those crossroads again. It's like, you know what? Am I going to keep going down this path, or am I going to do something different? And, you know, some people stay down that path, and some people do something different. And, you know, like you said, that was your Kanye moment, man. That was your Kanye moment. Just like, you know what I mean? You know, actually, I'm a lot smarter than what I've even allowed myself to embrace. And I think that's part of the juggle. So some of it is our environment, but some of it is us just realizing that, you know what I mean, we have a lot more to bring to the table. We might not have had the same exposure or resources, but once that light bulb gets turned on, ain't no turning back. So Gucci said that too. It was like, yo, once he realized that he can still be successful, he can still have the influence and not have to go to jail. He's like, listen, I wasn't going back to that at all. So I heard that 100% when you just said that. It was like, wasn't no going back for me. It was just like, it's time to level up. I'm gonna level up from there. I'm gonna level up from there, and I'm gonna level up until I decide to get to where I need to be.
Exactly. Yeah,
man.
No, that's true, man. But that's a fact, man. I got I got a story I want to say, but I don't want to. I want you to still keep your flow with your questions.
Say it.
Okay. So this is an example of like, this story is like really like tell you how cool and calm you have to be. about certain things. And this is like what I was saying. I was already merging from trying to get out of the streets, because I was rocking with dudes from downtown. We was Old Block. That's your old hood, Orange Street. We call it Old Block, Illinois. You know, right there, boom. And I was working at Wendy's. This was my first job. My first job was working at Wendy's. You know, I'm trying to do something legit, because I'm getting arrested. I'm getting probation all the time. I'm back and forth in Albany County, all types of stuff. You already know my paperwork wasn't even right. I'm wilding out. Tweak it out. I'm tweaking out. Listen, boy, they will send me back. I got a whole green card. But I'm coming from a party. Me and Dave, we come from work, because I got Dave's job at Wendy's right on Western Ave, right there where Crossgate's at. You know, boom. We come from work. They live on the boulevard. He got his little homegirls. They live downstairs from him. They throwing a little party. Right on the boulevard, right there by the Silver Slipper. All right, boom. We come from work. We already got, like, this time when they had the capes on and all that. You know, everybody's rocking the army capes, the black joint. So I got my joint from work. All I did was zip up my hoodie. So you ain't know I was at work. We went right to the party. We caught they caught us. Some dudes from uptown came right in the party. They already know me from hanging with the dudes I hang with. So he got the ups on me. I come out the party. All these guys is out there. Everybody out there. They say, "Oh, you Nigel, da 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 da." He back out on me. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Pull back out. Back out the pistol on me. Whole time, cock it on me. Right there for everybody. Now, this is how much I'm thinking about how I'm gonna handle the situation. Everybody out there, everybody already see what's going on. He got the ups on me. I know how I go in the street mind. Like, we gonna see if we gonna have you out here looking, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to pull your card, all types of stuff, make you look real, you know what I mean? Like, that's how it go. Like, that's the whole point of you doing all that, because I know you trying to expose me, because real dudes, they ain't gonna do all that if they ain't gonna, you know what I mean? If they ain't gonna let it go on you. So I know he just trying to. I mean, he probably, if I push it, he probably gonna pull it, just because he like, now you testing me in front of everybody. Now you trying to see if I'm, you know what I'm saying? So he back out on me. Saying, yeah, heard you were talking crazy. I should clear you right now. I ain't got too much to say, because I already know if I go ahead and say anything too crazy, he gonna go ahead and take it as a challenge. And I know I know homeboy anyway. From uptown and all that. So I'm not even trying to be tough. I'm like, bro, if you're gonna do what you're gonna do, bro, just do what you're gonna do. And I ain't even trying to tell him to do what he's gonna do. But I gotta let him know that I'm not gonna just go certain way. Yeah, because if he see that, then he like, all right, bro, now give it all up now, since we know you. Like, all right, I know you ain't gonna come back, because you already showed me your whole card, bro. You ain't even about all that. Like, so I'm letting them know you gonna do what you gonna do what you gonna do. But I ain't gonna do all that running. I mean, like, you gonna do what you gonna do what you gonna do right now, dog. So, long story short, he end up putting it back. You lucky. Everybody done see. Now it looks crazy for him, because now you did all that and you ain't do nothing. And this is how the streets go. You know what I'm saying? You did all that woofing and you ain't really go ahead and do nothing. But in my mind, I felt like that was the best way to handle it, just because I know if I would have went about it a different way, you know, you weak. If you look like you're easy prey, you're easy prey. They're gonna try to, you know how it is. They're gonna try to take whatever you can got, and the whole hood gonna clown you. You know what I'm saying? Not even if they did nothing, they just gonna clown you, because they like, bro, I remember that time homeboys that ran down on you, you ain't do nothing. Nah, bro still tall on that. Bro ain't back down. Bro ain't try to make him tuck his tail. Bro said you gonna do what you gonna do, bro. At that point, it's on you. That's a dangerous game. But
it can go one or two ways.
It go one or two ways. And this is what I'm saying about how you got to move in the hood is like so crazy. Because I mean, luckily homeboy wasn't even on that type of time, but I was already I was testing the temperature, how much he was just yapping and going. I said, all right, bro, you kind of going on and on and on. If I knew you was going to do your thing, you would have did it already, but you still trying to preach to me about, I should do this or should do that. So boom, he ended up back in the office. Homeboys, you know, dipped off and this and that. And I caught him by himself one day. And I this one I could have had the opportunity to do whatever I felt like I want to do to him, but I end up, because I was already adjusting, trying to finish up my my schooling at getting ready to go to Hudson Valley and everything and do my thing. So I let it slide. This is like letting it slide. And the reason why I let it slide was because I knew if I would have did that, it would have brought me right back. It would have brought me right back to where I was at in the get-go. So I'm right back in the mix, because now I done went from 0 to 100 over that situation because I couldn't let it go with my pride. And those are the type of situations what I'm talking about, where you got to know how to move. You got to know when to say, nah, is that really worth it?
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Yeah. Listen, and you know, I mean, that's a lesson that, you know, I mean, even as adults, still plays out. Let alone for young adults, for teenagers, where you constantly got testosterone going and it's egos, and it's just like, you know, you ain't gonna play me in front of them. So, you know, I mean, learning how to outlive that. You know what I mean? I always look at the music scene. You know what I mean? You look at like Pac, you look at Biggie and all of this stuff, you right? And be like, you know, I can only imagine what Pac would have grown to, you know what I mean, as a man, you know what I mean, had he been able to pipe it down a little bit, or be like, you know what? I know everybody wants me to do that, or everybody wants me to go that way, but nah, I already know where that's gonna go. You know what I mean? But sometimes you got to go through experiences to really realize how to, like you said, gauge the temperature of the situations. Like, this can get all the way wrong real fast. And it's just like, and is it worth it? And so you got to size things up in real time, and it might be game over.
Yeah.
So
big time.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So you know what I mean? No, I appreciate it, and I know, you know what I mean, you're telling 100% the truth, because it's just like, you got to size up these situations, but hopefully, you know what I mean, the goal is to get to a point where you realize that, you know, it becomes second nature to survive those situations, and realize that you as a person, Nigel, is worth way more than a reputation or an ego or trying to prove something. Nah, you know what I mean? Because if I was to go out here over that, you know, I didn't get a chance to write my story yet. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I said that in an interview with one of my earlier interviews. Her and her friend do a podcast called the Real Therapist for the Culture. Dr. Shug. There you go. Dr. Lipscomb. She actually teaches at Morgan. But, you know, one thing I told her, I was like, yo, even when I was young, I realized I didn't just want to end up on a t-shirt. You know what I mean? I didn't want to end up on a t-shirt. And it was just like even in that moment you just described, it was just like, you know I got my ego to hold on to. I know shorties is looking at how I'm going to respond. I know dudes is looking at how I'm going to respond. But like you said, that can go all the way left real fast. You know what I mean? So by the grace of God, you got up out of there, and you know, you're here, and you got a chance to see what life is like after that. You know what I mean? It's a lot bigger than the Boulevard. It's a lot bigger than L&O. You know what I mean? You done been all over the world now. You know, I think you traveled to like 7-8 countries in like 10 days, 10, 11 days. So imagine your story being stopped on the Boulevard over nothing.
Yeah, you know, when you're that young, you don't really see you. And I think that, you know, when you're transitioning, you can't really see, like, I can't see Nigel from 10 years from now. I can visualize it. I can say where I want to be, but, you know, life have a way of unfolding in front of you and saying, this is how it's going to play out. I mean, we had plenty of conversations about things when I was like not feeling at my ultimate best with situations, relationships, like, bro, stick it out, do this, do that, boom, 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 boom. That's too gone past, and it has. And then when you in a better situation, you financially, mentally, things change. But not being stuck in the moment and focusing on that moment and just how you are, who you are in the moment, and not looking at who you want to be for the future can cause you a lot of pain, suffering, and also your life being taken away and having like too much pride. So I already knew once I was making that adjustment and I was trying to make myself into another individual, into a better individual who I really wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Who I was in the streets is not necessarily who I wanted to be. That's who I had to be. I felt like it was more, I had to be this way. I wanted to be a nice guy. I wanted to, but the streets have made you into this type of person because the environment's so toxic. You become toxic just from being in the environment. You know what I'm saying? You around a whole bunch of, you become sick because you amongst the, and I ain't saying that like, you know, the hood is sick or nothing, but I'm just trying to use an analogy of like, you gonna get caught up in it, even if you don't have no parts in it. So I realized that I got to separate myself from that and make a way for myself. I either find the right people to associate where I wanted to be. So it's game changer, man. It's like, man, I'm really blessed. A lot of things done happened for me that I was waiting for. A lot of good things that came my way. And I was just like, man, ain't no stopping. Like we just gonna up it.
Yeah. I got a question for you. In your experiences, because one, I also know that you have some unique experiences. I think when I first
don't tell no crazy story, Ralph. Jesus God. Don't do
Don't
me like that. Everybody gonna see this, bro.
Listen. I ain't gonna let him go at all. I ain't gonna let him go. But
you can let a couple go. You have some.
Listen, you got some unique experiences because I've seen your crowds, but I've also seen the amount of people who have been instrumental in your development, and it wasn't always just Black people. So it's gonna lead me to my next question. So during your early education between kindergarten through 12th grade, what role, if any, do you think racism played?
Man, real story, bro. I first came to this country when I was about 6 years old. I lived down in Poughkeepsie, was in Poughkeepsie. Man, I ain't even gonna say Black folks in America racism, but why they call you African booty scratcher when you come from Jamaica? And I don't understand why they do you like that. But I love my folks. It just be jokes, man. Your accent heavy as hell. You speaking that patois. They start saying, man, say three. You say tree. Let me want three of them. They say, Jesus, we got ourselves a Jamaica up in the build. Tommy, we gonna cook his ass tonight. Excuse my language. But when I was younger, I never really, it's hard to understand racism when you're a kid because you don't necessarily understand it. You don't know why. So it can be misinterpreted as something else because you got to interpret it. You got to know what it is when you see it. So I feel when I was a kid, I never really felt any racism, not because I didn't experience it. I had no idea someone was being racist because it was discreet. It never was like someone just like say something to me, but it's all about maybe the treatment. And I just thought, somebody might not like you or things like that. But it wasn't until I was older, so I started seeing like, how race really play a role in your setting, your employment, school, especially your housing, and especially know how divided Albany is. You go from one side of Lark Street, you in the hood, and the other side of Lark Street, boy, you got doctors, lawyers, all on that side, and it's just like you just go a couple blocks down, it's a different type of area. So where you live at, people can just say, "Oh, you from that side." They see where you're from. You meet
Central Ave.
the Central Ave, man. It's just like it's I definitely experienced that. I definitely did. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why I ask is because I always say your experiences with other races also will influence your global view or your world view. And I think it's important because like I know for me early on, I might not have had as much exposure to race. And I was like even in Arbor Hills, it's like, yo, we have so much diversity that we don't really even understand amongst ourselves. It was just like, every person that I met, I'm gonna say some real ignorant stuff right now. I've said it before too in an earlier interview, but it's like every person I met, that wasn't just black, but it spoke with an accent. I thought they all were Jamaican. It was like, no, this person's Guyanese. This person is Haitian. This person is, or it was just like, wow. So it's like we had so much diversity that I wish that we could really celebrate and understand more, doing like more cultural events in Albany. Imagine like doing a cultural block party on 2nd and Judd, where it's just like, you get to taste the foods from all of these different cultures. And it was just like, because we got all of it right here in Albany, but it's like a lot of times, we busy making jokes instead of trying to embrace and understand diversity and culture. And that includes white too, because there's some beautiful white people, some beautiful black people, and there's some bad of both of us too. But being able to celebrate the beauty and the people and the diversity of people who want to be explored and shared. We got way more in common than what separates us in a lot of ways.
That's very true. Yeah. That's very true. I can go ahead and I can tell you what really I think another way to give you I'll give you another answer to race, and I will say how race helped my level of awareness, being able to adjust with a diverse group of crowds, especially at my age now in my work field, and just in general, just traveling all over. As you know, I like to travel. I got my mom. My mom lives over in London. I'm always going over there now, checking up on her.
Shout out to Mama Love.
Mama Love, and I think because I've seen a lot of people, like white people, really look out for me, especially when I was like, I was going through my transitional phases. So they gonna catch me. I might go off because I might look at it like you trying to do this and that, but they still never gave up on me. And that's the thing about it. A lot of times, finding someone to still try to understand you, even might not understand your culture, but they want to try to understand, and they not quick to write you off and try to say, well, because it is. When you're young and you moving, the Nigel back then is not the same Nigel now. So if they would have wrote me off back then, you were pretty much writing off this now. Like you can't get this without going from that. So the support that I had and the time that they had to really invest in me and show me, like, listen, we want to help you. We want to see you do good. And they showed me a lot of love, as you know, especially when I had that situation up with the immigration thing going on with the feds, and I was held up in there, and a lot of folks came up to see me, you as well, and they had my back and support me. That was amazing. And that just show you how hard somebody gonna go for you, regardless of the color of your skin. They went hard for me, so I could never really go ahead and say, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no white girl now, but you know what I'm saying? But I ain't never gonna go ahead and say nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna never say nothing crazy, because I had a lot of people that really showed me love and helped me out and really just invested in me because they seen the good in me. You know what I mean? I know Nigel could be a lot of things: funny, goofy, silly, gonna make jokes. He's just but he also has this other side to him that, he's a very caring and he's a very real person. He's a good friend, So they seen that and they stuck with me, and for that right there, it's hard not to give people a chance and just sit there and talk to folks and just say, man, even though we from different walks, we might have a lot of things in common. And I realized that about a lot of people, especially working in the hospitality field, because you meet all walks. You said, man, wow, you like this. Oh, I like that too. Oh, really? So it was dope.
Okay. Real.
Yeah.
Listen, real talk. I got another one for you. The Black Lives Matter movement isn't just about police brutality, but it's also about dismantling systematic racism. If you were in charge of mobilizing the Black community in Albany, what would be the top 2 things that you would advocate for, or you think we need to focus on as a Black community in Albany?
First thing first, before we even, and this is just coming from someone that sees the issue, because I'm in the issue, because growing up, I can realize what the problem was, because I know what we didn't have. It's easy to I ain't got dishes in my house because I actually live in the house. You ain't got to tell you. I can tell you what we don't got. So the first thing first, what has to come from the Black community is the bond of coming together. We got to come together with each other in the sense that we got to stop looking at issues as individual issues. We got to stop looking at police issues as one thing and then on black as another thing. We got to look at it as the same attack on Black lives. And the reason why I say that is because we want the same energy. We want it to be the same energy when it's this way, and we want the same energy when it's this way. That's a big part of the bringing it together so we can actually move forward as a race to be able to get these objectives done, as you can say, for systematic and all systematic, criminal, any way, educational, any way that it can be affected, where Black lives should matter on all platforms. But we really just have to come together and listen to each other. I think sometimes we might be saying the same thing. You might have a different approach to go about it, like a Malcolm and Martin type of conundrum, where you want to do it this way and he want to do it this way, but you still trying to do it to get progress. So don't worry about the necessary methods and not try to knock the next man for his method, but say, what's the overall objectives? Well, correct. The overall objective is still the same. We still want the same thing. And I think once we come together and say, hey, if we got a problem with something that's happened with individuals that are not from our community, that don't represent us, that's happening to us as Black individuals, and also that we feel like we're impacted on, we first have to unite. We have to, because you can't do anything without uniting. And even though you have Black Lives Matter as the movement, we need to make sure Black lives matter.
Correct.
To us. We got to make it matter to us to the point where we unify, so we can come together on all aspects, on financial, come together and say, hey, we're going to do this for us. When there's situations going on in the neighborhoods that's going on, shootings and this and that, whatever the case may be, we got to be the first one out on the line as Black men, protecting our own, showing that we actually, and it's tough because a lot of folks going to say, hey, we're not going to do that. But you know how it is with sacrifices. You got to be out there on the front lines if you really going to have to make it. Sometimes you got to put yourself there, and be that that frontier, just so the next generation say, man, they really made a difference to try to put us in a situation where we dependent on ourselves, and we not reliant on somebody else's system to tell us how we want to be treated and how we should be treated and what we need to be done, when we definitely have so much progress 2020 now. But look at from 1940s, from segregation to all the way up to now, you see that we still talking about similar issues of how we want to be treated the same. So the unity aspect has to be there in order for us to really start controlling the narrative.
Okay.
You got to have that unity aspect, and I think that's a big part of it. I know I probably skipped over your other two.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
good.
yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay. Sadly, Albany has seen more and more violence, and our community has experienced a lot of loss over the past few years. Definitely 2020 by itself is going down as one of the worst years. What changes would you like to see in Albany? What is your hope for the city, Nye?
Man, yeah, bro. It's been a lot, like you said. It's like the kids, it's like, man, the kids is on go time, man. They just, you know, it starts at home, man. It's the upbringing it gotta be crazy. It's too many going on. It's like, I feel like it's worse than when we was coming up. In my opinion, it's like back to back to back to back. And I ain't never seen nothing like this, especially when I was coming up, wasn't like this bad, like back to back like that. And it's just a lack of, you know, that village, that aspect of, you know, hey, you do something wrong, the neighbor could say something. We still like, I still came up to an area where you could get checked by your neighbor. You could get checked. Somebody's gonna tell, like, you know, he was out there doing this and that. Oh, really? Now it's just like nobody want to say nothing. Everybody want to mind their business, I feel like. And there's no community aspect of raising the kids. You know, I don't know if it's because of, you know, the single family household or just a lack of love, but you know, it all trickles down from somewhere. No kid want to be out there just going out there shooting folks just to be shooting. There's a lack of something, and I usually say, just from my own experience, there's lack of love. You know, lack of father, a lack of support. So if you don't have that for a lot of kids growing up, they get that from the brotherhood of the streets. Because they felt like they're part of something. When you were part of something bigger than yourself, they call you with the gang, you with the squad, you feel like you bigger than life. All right, I'm with the team, I'm with the set. You feel like you a part of something. And that type of camaraderie, if it was changed for something positive, it would be really impactful. But it's more for detriment, a lot of pain and suffering causing on a lot of people, especially you know, mothers and fathers losing their sons so early because of senseless shootings that could have been avoided when, you know, it all starts from home. And I know that for a fact because I was one of those kids. I'm not going to speak down on those kids because I know I was doing the same thing. So I could tell you what made me change. I got support. Somebody said, yo, bro, you ain't gotta. They wasn't just talking. They was like, yo, I'm gonna show you how to move. I come pick you up, scoop you. What's good? We go over here. They wasn't just giving me game like, yo, bro, you know you out here wilding out. Bro, I'm broke. I ain't got $2 in my name. You keep telling me you ain't got what? Show me something else. You show somebody something else. You show them that you actually care about them. I promise you, they're gonna start changing slowly because the environment start changing. They're gonna change their environment. They're gonna start to adapt to what they see now, you know, because everybody ain't gonna be moving on their type of time. They say, oh, people actually, they ain't so guarded. They put their shoulder. All right, I can sit down, I can relax a little bit. I ain't gotta be so tense. You know what I mean? I ain't gotta walk around with a gun on me, worrying about somebody trying to shoot me. I can walk home knowing that I can get there safe. I ain't gotta think about what's gonna happen. It's gonna change your mindset. And a lot of those kids is going through that trauma of those environments where they feel like, you know, I got to be a part of something. I got to do this and do that. I got to get my name up there, and you know.
Let me reiterate the question though, because I just want to make sure I don't miss it. You know what I mean? What is your hope for the city though? How would you like to see your city, your hometown?
Yeah, once again, a lot of it comes back to that support, that village aspect. You know,
there you go.
You got to have that. I feel like you got to care about what's going on with the next guy, same way you care about what's going on in your own house. And that's how I look at it. Because if you don't, what happens is that kid gonna be the kid that's gonna break in your house because you ain't care. You don't care about him. He don't care about you. That's the easier way to say.
Gotcha.
It's just gonna be. It's just you gotta show the kids love. You gotta show them love. You gotta show them they actually matter. Show them that, you know, you gotta treat everybody as if you wanted to be treated. Just because, like, you know, these kids growing up, they're gonna either get the positive or they're gonna get the negative. They're gonna get you. You ain't gonna show them nothing. They're gonna find out what they're gonna be like. All right, you ain't show me no love. You ain't this and that. And they're like, well, they're gonna try to come up at you. And not all of them is like that, but unfortunately, it's a survival situations when you're coming from those homes where you ain't got a lot of things going on. So the biggest changes is just really showing love at how you did it. You know, what's what you did with Men of Model. That was the most impactful program that I was able to be a part of, because I connected with so much, we did so much, we see so much, and at the same time, you was a little older, but you were still close enough to the age group of where I understood and I connected with you, and I seen how you was moving, and I could relate to you because I know you came from the environment and you was already transitioning. I was like, if bro can do that, I'm about to get on this type of time and get focused and do this, because I don't want to go that way. So that's the key. Showing love. You show love, you're gonna get love.
Okay, I respect that. I respect that. Yo, you know what I'm thinking of too? I remember that first trip to Baltimore. It might not have been your first trip, but I know for a lot of them, it was their first trip. Might have been your first trip too. So, yo,
my first trip.
Oh yeah, listen, yo, I remember preparing y'all to go down to Baltimore, and you know, I'm showing y'all different clips from The Wire. You know, season 4 of The Wire is my joint. I'm a Wire fan, period. But season 4 is my joint. I mean, we get to Baltimore, and we had finished whatever activities we were doing. Rest in peace, brother Yusef. I know he was instrumental in that too. But whatever activities we did during the day, at night it was like, all right, so some of us just pack up in the cars and be like,
you wild for that.
Yo, it was just like, yo, so many of y'all was so scared. It was like, yo, they got the blue boxes up there on the lights.
They got the blue boxes. That's a fact.
Yeah, man, that dope. Model was dope, man. Model was dope. Being able to go to the monuments with you guys here in DC, and just being able to get outside of Albany. You know what I mean? Getting outside of Albany changed my life. So, you know what I mean? That was one of the things that, you know, I wanted to be able to expose you guys through. And by the grace of God, you know, I had enough resources and the right people who were giving me opportunities and funding and money to be able to do that. So, you know, to be able to go to other states, to go to go to San Francisco, to go to Baltimore, to go to DC, you know what I mean, to all these things were instrumental. So, you know what I mean, I'm thankful that we have stories like yours to be able to say, you know, yo, I came from the mud. I came from right here. I didn't stay right there though. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? To see you in Florida, to see Trev in Florida, you know what I mean? It was just like, it's tremendous. It's dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, man. You definitely did your thing with that program. It really helped me out a lot, bro. I was there all the time.
Well, thank you very much, brother. What do you say? The greatest reward is just seeing you happy, healthy, and whole, brother.
That's a fact.
Yeah. All right. My next question for you for tonight is, Nye, success is measured in many different ways. How do you measure success, and how do you stay motivated when you face obstacles?
That's actually a real good question. How do I measure success? I feel like at this point, especially in my life, I think success changes as you start getting older and you start maturing, especially when you start obtaining the things you thought you wanted for success, right? So you started getting the things you want. And a lot of times, for me, speak for myself, coming from where I come from, I thought success was financial. We always used to talk, when I get my money right, wait till I get my money right. Wait till I get my money right. Bro, you know how it go, bro. You know what I mean? Coming from the hood, just like the trauma of always not having it. Money is equate to success. Just like, I want to get my money. As soon as I get my money, you can't tell me nothing. You ain't gonna tell me what to do. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna get what I gotta get. I don't need nobody for nothing. I ain't gonna ask you for nothing. I'm gonna do what I want to do when I want to do. And as I start getting older and moving into financial stability in my life, I realized what I'm really happy about the most being around my friends, my family, kicking it, playing spades, just enjoying myself. And it ain't even about the money. I just really just get happiness of seeing the people I came up with happy. And that really brings me joy. Being in a safe environment where I can go ahead and take care of what I got to take care of for my friends or family. Being in a good mental space, you know, and also just, how do I say? Just being productive. I say productive in the sense that I'm doing positive things and I'm getting where I want to go, and it's not always like financial, because now it's not even about like financial all the way. It's like, of course you want to get more money because more money equals to freedom and be able to do more, but there's other ways to be wealthy in life that's not monetary. So the wealth is coming from being around good folks, good energy. Energy is important, man. I love that, man. Energy is important. So the energy, that's why me and you always rocking, bro. The energy always there, man. We always connected, even though, you know, you talk to me about this and that. I can speak to you, be able to be myself, and you gonna treat me the same way. You ain't, that's bro. That's not. You gonna say what you gonna say, this and that, bro. Gonna say what you gonna say, and we still go ahead and move because the energy is right there. So that's always been a big aspect of like my happiness, keeping good people around you, keep your circle small, stay away from suckers, like we say, sucker free.
Sucker free.
Sucker free, bro. Just not being around folks that ain't got no goodwill towards you, and making sure that you can identify when people are using you, and or when people are using you, or just not having your best interest. So navigating that as you start moving up the ladder and you doing your thing to keep your peace.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Let me see. What about your life's path are you most proud of?
All right. Real, I'm gonna give you a crazy, like another crazy story, but I got like I got a novel. I know, but I'm gonna keep it real because right now I'm coming. Man, so mind you, I told you I came from Jamaica. My pops, when I came over, I had my green card. If y'all don't know what a green card is, y'all from Albany, I don't know. I thought I was from Albany the whole time. Yeah, I'm Jamaican, but y'all, I'm really from Albany. But I can turn that Jamaican on anytime I want when I'm around my folks. So I'm doing all the things I told you I was doing in the streets. Anytime they can send me back to Jamaica, because guess what? I ain't no citizen. Boom, boom, boom. I found that out later on in my life. And I got myself in some trouble, but I was a youth at the time where it happened, so I kind of got like, you know, things brushed under the rug and things like that. And the whole time after I changed and adjusted into my my new my new lifestyle and leaving the streets alone, I wanted to get my citizenship. But after, especially, I got out of the immigration, they wanted to send me back because I had the drug trafficking charge. And I was like, man, y'all gonna do this to me? And I was 16. Man, y'all gonna go ahead and do that to me? Y'all know I ain't do nothing since three years after this, man. Y'all gonna still try to hold me up? And that's been hell when I was trying to go ahead and get through it and try to get it through that avenue of applying for it and, you know, holding on, trying to get my my citizenship. And when I finally got it, I said, man, y'all can't send me back no more. I felt like, oh, I'm about to act a fool now. Y'all ain't never seen Nigel, you gonna find out. Man, I started going all over the world. I'm like, I'm gonna flex on them now because I'm gone. But that was one of the biggest things that I could ever like really say I'm so proud of, because I never gave up, especially after, you know, they kept on trying to deny me. Oh, well, you know, you could be a citizen, you might, your dad's a citizen, oh, your record might hold you back, this and that. You know, I had the situation with homegirl in the basement said, oh, you were trying to beat me up, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, God, Jesus, like, can a brother get a break? I'm trying to be straight narrow. And bro, like, man, nah, jeez, man, you just don't learn. I said, bro, I gotta get up out of Albany. They trying to kill me up here, man. So I was so happy when I finally got my my citizenship. I got my paperwork right, so I felt more comfortable. It's like I'm working towards bettering myself, and at any point, I felt like if any little trouble can happen, especially, you know, being black man and how things happen in, you know, the news, you see things, you can easily find yourself in a situation that could have easily been avoided just because you was in the wrong place at the wrong time. So having that citizenship really secured myself. That was the proudest thing, man. I was so happy when I got that, bro. I was so happy, man.
Okay.
So happy.
Yeah, I still remember it like it was yesterday, man. Driving up to Batavia, and we didn't know what to expect. I remember me and Malcolm stopped at Bob Evans. We stopped at Bob Evans to get something to eat, try to go ahead and prep for the joint. But like speaking to the federal judge in that case and all of that stuff was just like, holy jamoli, guess what? We just some black kids. You know what I mean? I'm from Arbor Hill. And I'm just like, we're in position to help advocate and support somebody else's path, you know what I mean, from not being deterred or from not being deported. That was just like on a whole nother level of change. You know what I mean? So that whole process for you, it's hearing you say that that's one of your proudest accomplishments, being able to obtain that for yourself, you know what I mean? It just adds a whole nother meaning for me. So shout out to you.
Yeah. No, I appreciate y'all, man, for rocking with me and sticking with me through it all, man, through the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations, the fork in the road when you gotta keep going and you keep going, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. You like, let me see.
Yeah. Came a long way, man.
Came a long way, brother.
Yeah.
Came a long way.
Yeah. So, but I got overall, like what I really take between us is just like Albany was, I love Albany. I always got love for Albany, but really was support. Like what I really like about Albany is like I had so many connections between you, Malcolm, and just like just being able to see the growth of you and your children, your wife, and how you transition, man. Like you be my go-to person. Every time he's like, well, your mentor, right? He doing good. Look at him. He doing good. He over here doing. When you be like that, I say, I'm trying to get there, bro. I'm trying to get there. Y'all gonna have to wait for me real quick. I said I just got myself together. Like they're gonna have to wait. I'm like, I know, but he's doing good. And I always use just my aspiration, and because I like where you're going. I like the direction where you're going. Like I said, you might not have to go every exact route where the person going, but it's going to be a good place, and having that stability and all that stuff. I'm like, man, I'm going to take it to the next level. I'm going to take it to the next level and take it to the next level. So it's always a big thing, man. Like you just being a part of my life and just rocking with me. We still keep the connection. We still kick it. Not all the time, man, because you always ready to cut me off the phone, but I ain't gonna.
hey, listen, man. Nothing can ever top. Imagine driving 5.5 hours and we freestyle the entire way back from Baltimore to Kanye West. I mean,
Facts.
Listen, you know what I mean? Facts.
Right.
You know what I mean? We freestyle the entire way from Baltimore back to Albany. You know what I mean? That should be in a Guinness Book of World Records. You know what I mean?
Bro,
so
good times, man.
Yeah.
Good times, bro. Just good times, bro. We had fun, bro. Just having fun, just like rapping, kicking it. That was our therapy, bro. We just be kicking it, just letting it off the mind. Let it out. Just say what you gotta say, bro. Let it out. Let the beat talk. You know what I'm saying? And we still do that. Like we just do. It's so crazy. We don't have a routine, but it's just like a ritual. Yo, just go ahead. We freestyle and have fun, bro. But it just be fun, bro. We just be, man. That's why I wish as soon as everything clears back up, bro, we really gotta take a trip together, man. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Hawaii.
That's all. Hawaii. You really serious? All right.
I'm serious, man. Listen, I'm all about that. I'm all about that, man. And actually, hold on. It's gonna lead me to my next question for you. I only got a couple more for you tonight.
Right.
How has traveling or relocation impacted your worldview?
Relocation from Albany to Florida, one of the best thing I did. And for one, it taught me just how to separate myself not from just my environment, from noise. I learned that word from communication class. They said there's some things called noise. And noise meaning that the distractions of what your environment that you left had that could, cause you to derail or get distracted, easily pull back in. And once I left that environment, and because I finished SUNY, and I was like, and I told you, I said, bro, I don't think I want to stay up here. Especially when you told me you was leaving. Bro said, I'm out. I said, you out? You mean we out? You're not gonna leave me up here, bro, by myself. He said, bro, you go. I'm like, bro, I'm gone, bro. I'm gone, man. I think I got you before that. I said, bro, I got you a Henny Black. So I bought a Henny. I forgot what we got. I got you. I said, bro, I got a Henny Black.
Henny Black.
Henny Black. Dropped it over to the crib. We chopped it up. Said, yeah, bro, I'm about to go down to Florida and this and that. And that was the best thing I did because it really helped me get myself together. And it forced me to really learn how to just be by myself in the sense that I had to go ahead and create my own new reality of how I wanted to be. Because you ain't got no friends that you can easily just go back to. You just can't hang out with the same people. I had to go ahead and create the new. So that was great. Traveling on the other aspect, man, I love it, bro. It's one of the best things I ever. I be trying to get all the guys, all my friends to still come. I got a couple friends I brought with me to Thailand. I got one that came with me to, London, obviously. I told you about that situation, right? But it felt really good to be able to see so many different people and how much they gravitate towards me and just how people just really rock with you. Man, people really be rocking with you. Oh, you from New York, you from America, you from this, you that, oh, you Jamaican. And it's a lot of love. And you're just like, man. It ain't what people really be thinking. How it ain't even like that. People really be showing a lot of love, and I love that, man.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, listen, man, it's a game changer. It's a game changer because what I mean. It's the world is so much. Imagine being from Albany, not even going to Troy or Schenectady, right? Imagine being from Albany and never making it to New York City. You know what I mean? So imagine being from Albany and to say that, you know what, my light bulb was turned on and I have seen the world now. Like I said, to be able to say that I traveled to 7-8 different countries in 10-11 days, you know what I mean? That's going down in the books, bro. That's going down in the books. And it's just like, and I came from right here. So if anything, you know what I mean, you guys can look at me as inspiration. It's like, I came from here. I didn't even know that I would be able to grow into a person that's doing all of these things. But it's just like you said earlier, it was like, you don't know what 15 years down the line looks like, but it's just like now you can see, I'm glad I made that move, or I'm glad I let that person go, or I'm glad I decided to take this opportunity. You know what I mean? It's like you live long enough, you can start to realize the decisions of the choices that you make.
Yep, that's exactly letting that seed plant and then watching it grow. And you say, oh man, that's an apple tree, that's a pineapple tree. You get to eat the fruits now because the decisions you made before, now you can see the fruits of your labor coming from it. And that's just in general about even just avoiding things too. You avoid certain things and not being so easily caught up in other things. But it was a blessing, man. Just like this is so much blessings coming from where I'm coming from, and how I like my pops. He just recently came home. From doing 16 years in downstate in Green Haven. So not having that support system, but instead of me going like, I ain't got the support system, I found other ways to get support and planting other seeds other places. One thing I said, man, if I ain't got a family, I'm gonna make my own family. I'm gonna make people rock with me. I'm gonna be likable. I'm gonna be coachable. I gotta have a skill. I'm gonna make folks, gravitate towards me so they can rock with me, so I can build a support system. You can't, and that's one thing I learned too. You can't be, I can't be getting myself in trouble and then nobody like you. Damn, bro, you in trouble and nobody like you. Who gonna bail you out, bro? Ain't nobody gonna come for you, bro. Ain't nobody rocking with you, bro. You killing yourself, bro. That's a double standard right there, bro. So one thing I learned, I said, man, you got to make folks like you. You got to be likable. You got to be somebody that people can gravitate towards and say, man, this kid, he got something going on for himself. He a good kid. And I'm being genuine too. Just be genuine. You don't have to try to make it into what you is, but just be someone that's offering something, be an asset to folks, and try to just be a good person. And it played out in my favor in the long run with the people that I have in my life, because I have really great quality friends and great quality. I even call you a mentor. You my big bro, big dog. That's big dog. That's big bro. First wedding I ever been to in my life. First wedding. I said, man, it was once again changing, shifting. Now I go to so many weddings now. It's like, boy, it's clicking. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it was the first clicking of it. It's like, yo, introduce this and that, introducing that. So sometimes you always got to pay root to the, you got to pay root to the teacher, the person that's paving the way, and give them props to say, man, I can talk all that hot joint, where you at now, but remember bro. Don't forget who showed you the ropes and like schooled you. You ain't got to act like you too good to say, man, give bro his flowers and let him know. Yo, I appreciate you, bro. Like all the time, I always big you up, man. It's just a lot of love, man. Like you just genuinely a good dude. You're a real one. You always gonna be you. You always gonna tell you facts. You know what I'm saying? I just love everything about you. Your family. It's just like I said, man. You can't regenerate these energies, these connections, because I never thought it was gonna be like this when I met you. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea life was gonna go in the route it went. I could say I wanted to be like this, but you don't get to say who gets to stay and who goes. The energy gonna speak for itself. The energy's in boom, and I was like, man, it's on from here. So, I'm just super blessed, bro. Super blessed, man. Sometimes like you said, luck, getting lucky. I got extremely lucky. A lot of luck, a lot of support. Yeah, because the cards was in my line, bro. They looked out for boy. They said looked out for that boy.
Okay. Yeah. Well, listen, man. I got one other question for you. Actually, two. But the last one is real easy. So, are there any type of resources like apps, books, motivational things that you follow that you would like to recommend to the BAC community, to the Albany community?
Let's see, what's a good resource that I use, especially getting game. I like, what I like? I watch a lot of interviews with I watch a lot of interviews, one with Breakfast Club, because they got different individuals that come on that platform, and I like to listen to different individuals that come from different aspects. So sometimes they have an artist come up there, they have a politician come up there, and they have like executives from different companies that come up there, and they'll talk about different aspect. And there's another podcast, Learn at Your Leisure. These two dudes, they be kicking game on financial literacy and all that, and I watch their podcast, and I get a lot of game from that as well. And I think that's really important, because now we're in the digital age. Like I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to you like we really like. It feel like we just kicking it like normal. You know what I'm saying? It's like we just.
One of those guys is actually one of those guys is actually one of our financial advisors. So we got two.
Oh yeah.
Actually.
Okay. Ballhead homeboy or how I know? He look like one of your line brothers. He look like he could be one of your line brothers or something.
Yeah. But Nah, I can't even take no credit for that connection. That one came from Gene.
From Gene? Yeah, but I watch him and I love what he's doing, because, like I said, you soaking in game.
Yep.
You ain't got to take everything in from everybody, but you can take in things like, ooh, I like that, apply it. Ooh, I like that, apply it. And there's another book that I already read it, but it's called 7 Highly Effective Habits. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That right there is a great book, because you always got to learn I'm always learning how to dance the dance in different rooms, and how to adjust, and how to pretty much be able to execute in the most efficient way in any situation for the best outcome.
Okay.
And reading these books tells you how to have, you know, win-win situations where you win, the other person win, and those aspects right there. Always trying to improve. Always trying to improve on things you not good at, and that's what I've been stuck on, man. A lot of podcasts, interviews, you know, certain books and all that. So that's what I'm at.
5 love languages.
Boy, you crazy. And you know I ain't mentioned no relationship. I ain't mentioned nothing but.
I ain't
My
going there
God.
with you, man. I ain't
Yeah,
going there with
boy. I'm working, bro. I'm a work in progress. I'm trying to get together. That's one aspect, bro. I don't know what I do. I swear to God, I do with my eyes closed. Oh my God.
Don't worry, man. We'll save that one for another one. I'm just messing with you.
I know you is. I know you is.
Listen, man, my final question before I let you go for the night, I always ask every person that I interview for back, if there was somebody that you would recommend me interview, and I always like to ask the people that I'm interviewing who they would recommend for me to interview next, because I don't know everybody. So, you know, I always like to ask the people that I interview, is there somebody that you would recommend for me to interview for back? Who would it be?
You know, my right-hand man, Hezekiah Morris, my boy Hazy. I think he'll be a great aspect as well. Another Albany guy came
Love
out.
that guy. Okay.
Similar story coming out of the environments, and you know, different when it comes to like certain avenues, how he went about it. But once again, you know, he'd be able to give a lot of game about how he did a lot of things and just being positive and how he adjusted from the person he was 10, 15 years ago to the person he is now. So I definitely think you should go ahead and give him a look.
Okay. All right. Will do. Well, listen, back community. Let's thank Nigel Jennings for sharing his story with us. You know, I love you, brother. Like I said, you're definitely a brother to me. So I appreciate you for sharing your story, because I think your story is going to, and it does resonate with the Albany community, with the people that look just like you and I, to be able to motivate us to continue to do better. So shout out to you, bro. I'm absolutely proud of you, and keep doing exactly what you're doing and leveling up.
I appreciate you, bro. Take it easy, man. I appreciate you having me on the show as well, man. Bless up.
All right, Sandy, you my boy, man. Have a good night.
Hey, you too, man.